Hello everyone, this is StrawberryShorty here with the next part of The Letter. So we just left the mansion with Ash and, well, there go them birds. So let's just jump right into it. We spend the ride back to Luxborn City in a relatively quiet manner, with only the radio's disjointed hum in the background to fill the silence. Occasionally, Ash will reach out to fiddle with it until the signal settles or is on a respectable volume, but otherwise, he doesn't say anything. Neither do I. However, if the furtive glances he's been sending my way are signs, I know there are things he's been itching to ask since we left the mansion. I keep my eyes trained on the passing scenery outside in the small hope that my disinterest will dissuade him.
Here.
All of a sudden, he tosses something at me from a small compartment on his side. It hits me cleanly on the chin before I can make a move to catch it. The small package makes a soft landing on my lap instead.
Sorry.
The glare I send him swipes the smirk about to form clearly off his face. He clears his throat, focusing his eyes on the road again. I swear, he did that on purpose. Ignoring him, I flip the half-forgotten package on my lap.
I won't say no to free food, but why are you giving away cereal bars?
That is an energy bar.
I always have one on my person, and you look like you're about to pass out back there.
Is this a real energy bar?
Have you eaten lunch yet?
I don't even get a chance to deny it because right on cue, my stomach rumbles loudly and an empty, gnawing feeling in my belly becomes noticeable. Becca's gonna get mad at us. No surprise there, I did skip breakfast and lunch so I could catch Becca while she was on break. I was hoping to get a small meal after. I guess with everything going on, I just forgot until Ash mentioned it. It's not like the hollow feeling's new to me, though. If anything, it's just one of the things I've gotten used to ignoring over the years growing up. A thanks, then I tear open the package and start nibbling on the edge of the bar. Apart from my acknowledging nod, Ash doesn't say anything after that small exchange. For that, I'm thankful. After getting an earful from both Becca and Rose, it's nice to be able to just sit down with someone who's not going to nag at you.
How'd the open house go?
The usual. We got a bigger crowd than normal because of the property's fame, but really, no different from the typical open house. On second thought, it actually looks like a fancy party more than an open house. I've never felt so underdressed in my life. Weren't you there?
I wasn't really listening.
I should have asked someone to kick you out.
No, you won't.
And what makes you so sure?
One, ever since you got assigned to this property, you've been freaking out about it. Rebecca's words, not mine. She's been complaining to me about how you talked your ears off, by the way. Two, despite your initial qualms about the place, you still took the job, which brings us to three. It's been months since you last settled a deal, and you're short on money right now since you're back to your instant noodle diet.
How do you even know about the last one?
Rebecca. Anyhow, you're hell-bent on selling the mansion. Even if someone you know personally is in the tour group, you aren't going to just kick them out. Every single person who went on your open house is still a prospective client to you. Even me.
Can you afford a mansion? He's not entirely wrong. Oh man, I walked right into that one, didn't I?
I hate you. I really hate you right now.
His answer is a small laugh, the kind that screams, I'm right, I told you so. I hate it when he does that.
I'll have you know that there's already someone who's extremely interested in this property. So even if you expressed any sort of interest in it, I don't think they'd be willing to let you have it. Too bad.
Provided I didn't botch it with the rights. Why, of all times did I have to screw up like that, in front of an important customer no less. I owe Rose a big apology. I hope she likes free donuts.
You don't seem too happy about it.
I am happy. Doesn't this look like a happy face to you?
Really? And here I was thinking you found another one stuffed in the sofa. Or is it the wardrobe this time?
You meant that as a joke, but how close it is to the truth made my blood run cold and my own heartbeat a heavy weight in my chest. All at once, the letter in my bag feels a whole lot heavier, burdened by my own guilt and apprehension.
Yeah, well, things happened. Stuff the right couple might not be pleased about.
Yeah, she want a letter?
No need to make a fuss about it. It's normal in the business.
You made them angry?
Not angry, just stuff happened.
Like?
Things.
Did they do anything? Your clients, the rights, was it?
I can't answer that. At least, not without revealing everything that took place in the attic. I gotta change the subject, I can't lie.
You keep asking me about my work, yet you haven't said a single word about yours.
There's a plus sign. He likes us more, thank goodness. He's a detective, he'd probably know if we lied.
That's not fair. Both you and Zach have literally disappeared off the face of the earth.
An over-exaggeration, but changing the subject to something else is still better than outright lying to him. Besides, it never works with him. I'm not sure if it's because I'm just bad at it or because he's really very good at his job. He doesn't answer immediately, only momentarily shifting a glance over me and returning it back to the road when he has to make a sharp turn. Outside, the sun has already started its descent, casting a vibrant orange glow on the tall buildings. I wonder how long before we reach the venue for Zach's film. Checking the street signs outside, it appears Ash has taken the longer road. Odd, but he's probably trying to avoid the rush hour traffic.
Didn't we just talk a week ago over chat?
That's different. Linking your awful memes in the group chat box every morning isn't exactly a conversation.
Yes, it is.
Excuse me, I don't hear you calling them awful while you're laughing at all of them.
Shut up! And you aren't answering my question.
I bet he posts cat ones. That earns him a soft punch to his arm. I did laugh at them, but I'm not going to give him satisfaction of knowing that I find most of them funny. It'd only make his head bigger. Stupid Ash.
All right. Lay off on the abuse. Remember that case I mentioned before? We've been trying to pin the bastard down, but it required more work than we anticipated. The guy's slippery like that. We got some good lead months ago.
Is the guy a vampire? He recounts what he's been doing in the time we haven't seen each other. His usual work, the occasional small investigation, and the big case he's been working on. Stuff he couldn't mention in the brief time we catch each other online. Although most of it are the trimmed down version, only things he can tell. He has always been careful about that. Even in the way he spins his answers to my questions, just enough to satisfy my curiosity, but not enough to paint the whole picture. At one point, his voice takes on a strained tone when he mentions something about the big case. But I don't dwell on it much. Castlevania. That's normal, right? I mean, who wouldn't be frustrated if you couldn't bring someone to justice because they kept slipping out of your fingers? If I were in his shoes, I'd definitely lose my mind. His stories never cease to be entertaining, regardless. If things weren't the way they were back home, maybe I would have considered taking on the same job as him. Well, nope, not really. Mama would never allow that. But the idea's still there, along with countless others I've let go. Time passes quickly between us in this manner, and before I know it, we're already at the movie house. Point of no return. Pocket Chibi! I wanna go see Pocket Chibi. A small crowd is already formed in front of the theater when we arrive. The Lift Fest, short for Luxembourg Independent Film and Theater Festival, attracts a bigger crowd annually, and this year's no different. I've only been to a few indie film screenings with Zach, so I'm not an expert on the matter. But I know that for people hoping to make a break in the industry, getting your film recognized by a local event like this is already a big deal. Especially for a newcomer like Zach. He hasn't even won an award, but just getting a confirmation letter that the festival committee wants to include his movie in this year's lineup already put a grin on his face for weeks. Speaking of the guy, he's impossible to miss. At 6 feet, he appears to loom over most of the moviegoers. And with his large build and heavy voice, there's no surprise when people give him a wide berth as they pass by. It's often easy to mistake him for someone intimidating at first glance. I did back when I didn't know any better. Ash did too, I heard. Once, early in their friendship.
Oh, there's Zach!
He looks like Wooly from the Super Best Friends. Anyone else see it?
Hey, you guys! Long time no see!
Zach's face lights up with a smile of his own. He moves towards us with careful steps, taking a significant effort to make himself smaller so as not to bump or accidentally hit anyone. Typical Zach. As he nears, Ash casually raises his hand in greeting and...
Sup, Z-Man, my main man. What's crack-a-lackin', my homie?
I suspect Ash may be a dork. The awkwardness that descends within the immediate vicinity of our small group is palpable enough. Somewhere to our left, a girl giggles, and only then do I become aware that my mouth is hanging open. I'm almost amazed how Ash can say that out loud with a straight face. Almost. Considering his track record, I should be used to it by now. Zach seems to be.
Yo, stop trying to act black, Ashton. And you're the only one who calls me Z-Man.
I don't believe any self-respecting black person would talk like Ash. There's fondness underneath his exasperated tone. If this were any other person, he'd likely be offended. But years of friendship and familiarity have made those words harmless to the other's ears. Or at least enough for both of them to take it in stride.
It's been a while, Zach.
I hope you didn't get into trouble again.
Not much to get into trouble lately without you, I'm afraid. I'll let you know if something comes up, though.
Nah, I ended up with chicken down stuck on me last time I agreed. I'd really love at least this year to pass without some sort of accident happening again.
You wanna come to a haunted mansion?
Hey, I take offense to that. It wasn't that bad.
You really have no idea.
A beat passes, and then Zach laughs.
Hey, I'm kidding! You know you can always count on me.
It's a short story only the two of them are privy to. Every now and then, Ash will enlist Zach to help on something. Becca and I never really found out what the deal is with those adventures, as Ash calls it, and both aren't willing to tell due to some unspoken agreement. She insists that if it's Ash, it's likely not something illegal or life-threatening. I tend to believe her on that. Sometimes. Oh well, boys will be boys, I guess. I give Zach a small wave from behind Ash when his attention eventually turns to me.
Bella! Huh? Rebecca's not with you. Is she still sick?
A bit. But she's up and went to work this morning. You know she doesn't listen to anyone that's not Ash.
Yes, she does.
No, she doesn't. You're literally the only person she'll listen to when she's feeling stubborn.
And it's true, they've known each other for far longer than any of us in the group, childhood friends and all.
But don't worry, Zach. She's probably on her way here now. She promised she wouldn't miss your movie.
Isabella! Oh, thank goodness!
Someone told her about the bump. Speak of the devil. Without warning, a hand grabs me by the shoulders and turns me around.
Becca, you're just in time.
I have to lean back a little the way her face is almost invading my personal space, but she places her hand on either side of my head to keep me still. She stares at me intently, concern filling her eyes.
Becca, you're squishing my face.
How are you? Are you all right?
Why wouldn't I be?
Rose called me earlier.
Those 4 words tell me all I need to know. Since I don't have any family living close by, and my only other relative I have here works on the far side of the country, I gave my company Becca's contact number in case of an emergency. I should have known Rose would call her. I push Becca's hands away from my face, although she lets go, her eyeballs remain drawn together.
Oh, no, everything's good. Rose covered for me at work today.
That's not what I'm talking about. How's your head?
Beside me, Ash snickers. I bite back the urge to elbow him in place of trying to avoid Becca's hand as she tries to reach out for the set area. I do my best to dodge her, all at once moving to hide behind Zach. Sorry for using you as a human shield, Zach.
Oh, it's nothing. I just slipped off a few steps on my way down. I blacked out for a few seconds and had a minor bump, but it's just that.
You blacked out? It's not something to brush off.
She's not right.
Come on,
You're
at
not
least
wrong.
let me check it.
It's extremely minor. You wouldn't even know it's there.
Isabella, this isn't a laughing matter.
I'm seeing ghosts and hearing voices.
She did look pale when I saw her.
Wow. Thanks a lot, Ashton, you traitor. I'll get you back for this. Just you wait.
What? I'm just saying it as it is. If you mentioned this earlier, we wouldn't be having this conversation right now.
I'm sorry. Saw her?
Yeah, they arrived together. Bella looked fine to me then. I don't know.
Something crosses Becca's face, but it's gone before I can figure out what it is. Is she jealous?
Oh, that's good. At
Wow.
least she didn't have to travel alone, right? At least. Good.
Yeah, they're definitely not a couple, but she wants them to be.
See? I'm okay. I wouldn't be here if I wasn't.
Is there an ending where she kills us?
And I don't want to miss Zach's film.
We can always watch it some other time. Sorry, Zachary.
No, it's good, but you guys should really keep it down. We're starting to attract some attention.
It's the premiere. The premiere's different. Right, Zach?
I shoot him a pleading look. Zach's a sensible guy. He'll understand. Please understand.
Not really. But Rebecca has a point. In the end, I think it's your call.
Oh, for heaven's sake!
Please, Becca. I really don't want to miss it.
You're not missing it. We're just moving it on a different day so we can have a...
Look, you guys.
Ash's loud sigh unexpectedly cuts through the conversation. He's pinching the bridge of his nose as he speaks, something he usually does when he's getting impatient.
If she says she's okay, then there's nothing we can do about it. It's not like we can stop her either. Besides, she's still acting like the same old Isabella to me, if she can still run around like that.
Why are you taking her side?
Ooh, Becca's mad.
I'm not. But if she wants to watch Zach's movie with us, I'm not going to stop her. She's probably the one looking forward to it the most.
Ash, that's... You, of all people, should know...
Tell you what, if I notice something amiss with her, I'll take her to the nearest hospital myself.
It's like, no, you won't. I'll take her to the hospital. Or maybe it's not Ash she loves. Maybe it's us.
Is that good enough for you?
I already know the answer before Becca voices it out. When at last she releases a deep breath and nods, albeit with great reluctance, I immediately tackle her into a hug.
Thanks, Becca.
It's always been you with him, isn't it?
Did you say something?
Me? Nothing. Don't mind me.
Did anyone just notice the jiggle physics right there?
If you say so.
Okay, guys, showtime's close, so I think I'm gonna get us some snacks. My treat. And then let's head inside. Anyone here has a smaller bill?
We'll need a smaller bill to move.
I think I do. Hold on.
Uh-oh, the letter! I pull myself off from Becca to get my wallet from my bag, and
What's this?
it's already in Ash's hands before I can even react. I called it. Behind him, Becca and Zach are both giving the piece of paper an intrigued look.
No! Give it back!
It's just a paper.
I don't care! Give it!
It looks ancient, too. Why do you keep this around?
I tried to reach for it, but he holds the paper way above his head. I've never been particularly sensitive at my own height, but right now, I really wish I had that advantage over
Don't
him.
open it!
What's the big deal? It's not like it's a love letter. I don't see any reason to... Hold on a second. This is, isn't it?
Even if it is, it's not for you.
Okay. Now I'm curious.
I'm telling you, it's nothing like that. It's...
The rest of my words are lost when he unfolds the paper. Hey, does this count as sending it to 3 people? And those other 3 saw it at the house, so I'm fine. No curse, right? Look, I showed it to 6 people, so I'm cool. I can't breathe. My heart feels stuck in my throat, pounding, threatening to burst out. Vaguely, I note how my hands are trembling at my sides. Clasping them together doesn't do any good. They are still shaking, but I hang onto them regardless. The awful, sick weight that has taken its core in my stomach back in the open house returns full force. We can just lie. How do I fix this? How do I fix this? How do I fix this? Someone please. Today is turning out to be a horrible nightmare.
Send this to 5 people or else.
It's like I just found it. Like, I don't think we need to make this into a big thing.
Well, that's interesting.
Guys, I think we should listen to Bella first.
Aren't you a few days early for Halloween?
Ash raised the paper in front of me, giving me a fleeting glimpse of its contents. I don't need to see. I don't want to see. The letters, the words, every stroke written in blood is already embedded in my mind. Maybe I should have just thrown it away when I had the chance. That way.
It's not a prank.
Or maybe I'm worried that I've cursed them. It makes all of them stop. Even I'm surprised with how steady my voice is.
What did you say?
This isn't a prank! I saw something!
Hold on. Are we still talking about this paper? Or is it about the urban legend again?
I love this expression.
Both. I know it sounds ridiculous.
You're saying this is a primitive version of a chain letter, and now that we've seen it, we're now cursed.
Yeah, I think she's actually worried that they're cursed, not that she has to explain the letter.
You've got to be kidding me.
Ash, you hunt vampires for a living.
See? This is why I didn't want to tell you guys.
Isabella, aren't you taking this a bit too far?
It's not a joke. Will you guys listen to me first? I saw something in the house earlier. It stood right in front of me. If I hadn't gotten away, that thing might have.
Right. And in broad daylight, Isabella. Even someone gullible would find the logic in that screwed up.
There's also no way in hell that this supernatural shit is true.
But it's real. What do you think I saw?
Look at how demonic she looks.
A hallucination? A delusion? Didn't you say you fell down some stairs? So maybe Rebecca's right.
It happened after, when I was trying to get away. I almost got stuck in the same room with that thing.
We were stuck in the same room as that
We're
thing.
all in danger. I thought you were my friends. Why don't you believe me?
She went from 1 to 100 real fast.
We are, and you know that. But this thing and that thing has got nothing to do with the other. When Rose called earlier, I thought she's just exaggerating. But based on what I'm seeing right now, maybe it's better if we really postpone this for now.
Don't bother.
Without another word, I snatched the letter of Ashley and stuffed it back in my bag with more force than necessary. I'm tired. I got cursed, saw a ghost, probably lost a sale, got kicked out of the open house I'm supposed to be hosting, my own friends won't believe me, and all of them think I'm crazy. To top it all off, there's a dull ache at the back of my head begging for a little attention. I can't afford to give it right now. Honestly, there's only so much a person can take within a single day. I just want to go home, curl up in my bed, and never think about today, before I can take a single step away from the group.
Guys!
Zach rarely ever raises his voice even when there's a point he wants to drive home. After hearing him take on that tone, completely throws me off. Even Ash and Becca. Whatever harsh words yet to come out from the argument immediately die on our tongues.
Why don't we all calm down first? I'm sure Isabella has her reasons too. No need to be hard on her. And hey, ain't this supposed to be a happy get-together? We haven't seen each other for months. I'd really love to know what y'all have been up to. I only ever get to talk to Bella over chat. Please.
He has a point. Ash, for all his attempts to look cool and distant, has also been looking forward to this. He even took the time to call this morning for a reminder. He never does that. Becca, too. I'm pretty sure there's another reason why she got out of bed today. Yet, despite Zach's attempts to lighten things up, Ash's and Becca's acquiescing gestures, the tightness in my chest remains. I should have just kept it to myself, or at least went with the idea that it was just a prank. If I did, things might have turned out the way they had. No sour mood, no bad vibes. Careless, so careless. Maybe leaving is the better direction for all of us. I'm staying for the movie. Any other day, I'd excuse myself and go straight home. Rebecca's mad. Well, we couldn't win them all, but Zach and Ashton like us more. Look how low we are with Rebecca now. Mary Ann likes us more than Rebecca. Oh. Any other day, I'd excuse myself and go straight home. But this is something special to Zach, something he worked so hard to bring to life. I should know better. I might be having a bad day, but being with the few people I care about far outweighs the idea of spending the rest of the day throwing a tantrum alone in my room. And what if the thing in the attic follows me home? I don't want to be left with my thoughts either. I can still see it whenever I close my eyes. And maybe if I stay, let our heads cool down first before telling them what happened, they'll listen to me? There's nothing you can't solve with a calm head. One step at a time, Isabella. That's what Mama used to tell me. Besides, I don't have the heart to ditch Zach. A smile is back on my face when I look back at them.
If we keep arguing here, we're going to miss the first few minutes.
All right, that's the Isabella I know.
Not exactly a good person.
Oh, good. I thought for sure you were going to cry.
Oh my gosh, he turned green. This time I really do send an elbow straight to his stomach. Stupid Ash. Being vertically challenged has its perks, too.
What was that for?
Stop calling me a crybaby! I'm not one!
Aw, don't cry.
Stop it!
Okay, scaredy cat then.
That too! If you repeat that, I swear I'll...
Let's just go.
Without another word, Becca goes inside. She doesn't even stop to wait for us when I call after her. Ash and I exchange looks at that, the same question likely swimming inside our minds. Did something happen at school after I left? Is she having a bad day too? No, she's jealous. I'll try asking her about it later, I guess.
So, you guys go catch up with her. I'll go get us the food I promised.
But you'll miss it.
Didn't you say watching a movie without food ain't fun? It ain't like I haven't seen it. I made it, remember? I'll be in there soon.
One friendly tap on my shoulder and then he's gone. A few moviegoers are still milling about. Some are still waiting in line for tickets, but otherwise most of the crowd are already inside. There's nothing much for us to do here now. Not a word of protest comes from me when Ash gestures for the two of us to head inside.
And then?
Are you sure it wasn't one of the cleaning crews?
Absolutely sure.
Somehow, halfway through the movie, the conversation steered towards what happened in the mansion. To be fair, Zach was the one who brought it up again. Why are we talking about it through the movie? What is this movie about? This looks depressing. In his own movie's premiere. Now, the film's just serving as a background noise while we're speaking in hushed tones, careful not to disturb anyone inside the small hall. Well, except for Ash. I just hope we don't end up arguing about it again. We'd all get kicked out for sure. Though, with how loud Ash's voice is, we'll probably get thrown out anyway before any argument happens. Only Becca still remains engrossed in the movie, completely ignoring us. She's been quiet the whole evening, speaking only when referred to. If I didn't know any better, I think we did something that offended her. Did we?
And then I ran. You heard what happened after.
I still think it's something else.
It was standing right in front of me, Ash.
He's one of the smartest people I know, but geez, he should learn to listen. Plus, didn't he say he doesn't believe in these things? Why is he in this conversation again?
I heard what you said, but it's a small room. There are a lot of things someone else could have done there without your knowledge.
His voice sounds familiar.
If I could see it up close, maybe I can...
I am not going back there.
Yes, I am. I work
Ain't
there.
that a problem if you're hosting an open house?
Rose does the first floor tour.
I ain't sure ghosts can be restricted to one room, Bella.
There are no ghosts, Zach. Stop putting useless ideas in her head.
I knew a ghost that was stuck in a library once. But he was a bird.
Yeah, but I was thinking, maybe all the house needs is a blessing. Wasn't it left uninhabited for years?
I think someone tried that already. Oh, the house did change hands over the years, from one distant relative of the Ermengardes to another. None of them bothered to live in it, though, and it remained that way up until its current owners decided to sell it. Why didn't I think of that?
I didn't peg you as the religious type, Zach.
Nothing like that, Ash. Who knows, though? It might bring something positive to the place.
That's not a bad idea. I just don't know where I could find someone.
You're not seriously considering his suggestion, are you?
Do you have a better idea?
I know where. I could contact him for you if you want.
You'd do that?
Or we can find you a psychologist instead.
There are very few times in my life when I wish my glowers can kill. This is one of those.
Ash, that is not a very appropriate thing to say right now.
No, wait, that's not what I meant. Ethnographer. I meant ethnographer. This guy's a psychologist too, of course, if you...
Ashton, if you don't stop...
Rebecca knows the guy I'm talking about too. She can vouch for him.
Rebecca's just like, shut up, you guys. Becca tears her eyes away from the screen at the mention of her name.
Huh? What? Oh, are you talking about Professor Andrew? He used to work with my parents at the university. Can you guys keep it down?
Sorry, the scaredy cat here mentioned curses. Not that I'm saying this is one, but talking to him is a better solution for me than getting a random priest to bless an old house. He'll even help you figure things out, teach you a couple things, and probably put your fears to rest since this looks to be bothering you a lot.
We're gonna bring him in and he's gonna die. Ash might be right too. However, what Zach suggested is something I'm more familiar with. Are we about to choose? Granted, they don't believe me. The only thing giving me these suggestions to put my mind at ease. But it's better than being ignored or laughed at. I can take comfort in knowing they're willing to hear me out.
So, what do you think?
It's your call. We'll go with whatever you want.
I don't know.
Jeez. Look at the backlog. The ethnographer. I think I'll go with a priest.
I'll think about it. But maybe we could go with Zach's idea?
Hey, Zach likes us more.
I'm not so sure about that.
Well, it wouldn't hurt to try, right? If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. At least we did something than just stand around. I'll let you know when he's available, Bella.
Thanks, Zach. I knew I could count on you.
Guys, I said keep it down. You keep insisting that we still watch it. You're not even paying attention yourselves.
It ain't a big deal, Rebecca. I'm the one who broached the subject in the first place.
It's still your film, Zachary. A good film, mind you. You worked hard on this. The least we could do is watch it with you.
She's not wrong.
That's what y'all doing. I really appreciate all of you making time for this.
Sorry, Becca. We'll stop now.
I throw her an apologetic look, even if Ash is the only one she should be reprimanding, but her attention is already back on the screen. She's ignoring us again. When Becca's acting this way, there's a big chance something's nagging at her. We really need to talk. We all fall into a comfortable silence after that, the kind you can only share with people you're most at ease with. For the first time today, the letter stays forgotten in my bag, if only for a few hours. Journal updated. Luxborn Independent Film and Theater Festival celebrated its 9th year discovering new creative talents in the film industry. Included in the few showcased this year was Zachary Steele's Blue Jean's Dark Times of the Black British. Isabella Santos, Ashton Frey, and Rebecca Gales were also seen amongst the crowd for its premiere. We write our journal very formally. Still no profile updates. Night has fallen by the time we exit the movie house. Despite the late hour, the streets are still bustling full of people, those about to head home, those set to meet someone, even those simply wandering about. Walking in this sea of unfamiliar souls, it strikes me how easy it is for one to get lost in a city as nondescript as Luxborn. I was afraid, too. At one point, back when I was new and had just set foot in this place, now with familiar faces walking with me, it feels a little like home. Zach and Ash bid us goodbye shortly before Becca and I crossed to the other side of the street. The former claiming he's got a few freelance jobs to take care of before the day ends. And Ash? Who knows, he never tells. Sometimes he'll just randomly appear at your doorstep looking for a place to crash. He does that to Zach a lot, much to the latter's frustration. But he's a busy guy, too, in spite of the laid-back air he gives off.
Thanks for today, everyone!
No problem, Zach. I'm sorry for what happened earlier.
Help me.
Huh?
Oh, it's the whispering again. The ghost has followed us. A sensation. Cold, sickening, drowning, my chest tightening, breathing, becoming labored. I can taste blood in my mouth. The edges of my vision blurs. In the distance, amidst the countless, nameless people going about their lives, a voice reaches out to me. Pleading even as I clench my eyes tight and clasp my hands over my ears. Whispering and whispering and whispering. Calling out.
No, not me.
Somebody.
Isabella? Earth to Isabella?
At her voice, the whole world suddenly snaps into place. The murmur's gone. When I open my eyes, Becca raises an eyebrow at me in question.
Weren't you listening? Are you coming with me?
Oh, yeah. Just... Okay, sorry. I spaced out.
You always do that.
I follow her without complaint, but not before sneaking a glance to the far end of the street, where the voice came from, where another set of eyes might be staring at me. Nothing. There are only Zach and Ash watching over us as we head back to where Becca parked our car. If I'm expecting to see something or someone there, I try not to let it show. Try not to think of the tiny pinpricks of fear crawling at the pit of my
See you
stomach.
guys some other time.
Yeah. See ya.
Another glance, and with a final wave, we go off our own ways. I don't know what I saw. I don't know what I heard. I don't want to know. And if this is what would help me sleep tonight, what would give me back the normalcy in my life, then so be it. The darkness closes around me. Gasping, pulling, engulfing me. The ground caves in, and without warning, I'm falling. I thought that was blood for a minute. Wow. We really do have a lot of instant noodles. These are like KFC-sized buckets. Oh, look at a little picture. My eyes snap open. For an instant, it doesn't immediately register where I am. Both my back and shoulders ache after I've fallen asleep, all hunched up the night before. Drenched in sweat, the nest of pillows I often keep around me feels more suffocating than comforting. I let my eyes adjust to the bright morning light streaming through my window and allow my breathing to slow down before untangling myself from the pile. Now, this is very uncleanly. Don't keep food on your floor. I haven't had a single dream since coming to Luxborn, or at least none I can recall having. It's a shame because they used to be so vivid. Not the crazy vivid, but the more pleasant kind I'll tell my siblings about. Maybe it's just the stress of living alone? The knowledge that I'll always wake up in an empty apartment with no one to tell stories to.
What time is it?
I keep thinking this is a vending machine. Habit forces me to look over the clock, even with the soreness weighing heavily on my shoulders and the compulsion to never leave my bed for the day. In a heartbeat, I'm up.
Oh man, of all the times to oversleep. Towel? Towel? Where's my towel?
Admittedly, it's a weekend, as an unspoken rule that entitles me to extra hours of sleep. But if Rose didn't kill me yesterday, she sure as hell will now. And right after what happened, oh lord, one box of donuts as a peace offering won't be enough the second time around. Grabbing my towel, I'm already a few short steps away from the bathroom when a muffled ringing breaks out from my bag. There's a moment of indecision at first, my mind conflicted whether I should just ignore it or answer. It's probably Rose. But what if it's Rose? Or worse, our boss! Sheesh, in the end, the rational part of my brain wins out. The letter from yesterday peeks out when I pull the device out. Just the sight of it is enough to put me in a foul mood and takes every force of will for me to ignore it in favor of answering the call. Oh, it's Mama. Caller ID reads Mama. No picture of her. It's around 4:45 p.m. in the Philippines right now.
That's an unusual time for them to call.
What if she's been cursed? Usually, it's around noontime here, and I'm the one calling, not the other way around. Better for them to use that money on something else than an international call. I hope nothing bad's happened. Regardless, in the most cheerful tone I can gather.
Hello?
Hello? Grace? How are you?
Grace?
Mama! I'm doing okay.
I think that's
How
like
are
her
you guys
full name.
over there?
We can just let this call stretch on forever.
We're good. EJ won a storytelling contest at school the other week. Brought home a medal. I thought you should know.
There's a tired lilt in her voice as she speaks. It's been there since Papa had to leave his job. I wish there's something I can do for her. But from miles away like this, the least I'm able to is not make her worry. If only my older brother would actually lend her a hand, but Lord knows if that'll ever happen. Odds are Kuya Jordan's already out drinking right now. Again, I can't count on my older sister either, knowing she has a family of her own, and, well, Ate Anne's financial situation isn't exactly great right now, having ran herself knee-deep into debt.
Great! That's great! Tell him congratulations from me. And let him know I'm gonna send him a little something extra this Christmas. How about Nico? Karen? Michael? I hope they're okay?
These names don't sound like Filipino names.
They're doing well. They wanted to talk to you, but they're all busy with school.
Oh no, that's fine. I don't want to bother them. Just tell them to keep doing their best for me. I'll just call back when I know they're not busy. And Papa? How's Papa doing?
It's a subject I'm a bit hesitant to broach. From the way Mama's voice hitches, she doesn't want to bring it up either.
Papa. Grace, he's having a little difficulty right now. Weak appetite, he's having trouble swallowing, and lost a few pounds, but the doctor said we should keep encouraging him. It just means his body's accepting his new treatment well. The money you sent last time helped a lot to pay for it, by the way.
Oh, I see. That's good.
I won't deny that life has gotten tougher for our family. It used to be easy back when Papa was in good shape. But ever since he was diagnosed with a sickness 5 years ago, he had been unable to provide for us. Now the burden of feeding 8 mouths and settling Papa's bills all rest on my shoulders. Although Mama makes a little, accepting sewing and laundry jobs in our neighborhood, it's scarcely enough to cover the costs of day-to-day living, let alone the bloating hospital bills. We can't even expect help from our government, because the health insurance there barely covers anything.
I'm sure he'll get better soon. Is he well enough to talk? Do you think I'll be able to speak to him, Ma?
Silence. I start to think that the call got cut until...
Listen, Grace, maybe it's better if we transfer Papa to a different hospital. Somewhere cheaper?
What? Why? Did something happen? Is it the deposit issue again? Give me the hospital's number. I'll talk to them.
I wonder if she thinks he's dying, if they shouldn't keep...
No, it's nothing bad. The service here is good. Too good. Even the doctors. But I'm worried you're working yourself to the ground because of it.
Mama, we've been through this before. I want the best for Papa. And don't worry about the bills or the medicine, or me for that matter. I can handle myself. Everything's going well here. In fact, we're about to close a large sale.
Hopefully. If not, then I'll find another way. She doesn't need to know that. Sorry, Mama. You've taught me not to lie, yet look what I'm
I'll
doing.
have money to send over soon to cover the rest of Papa's treatment. And there's more than enough for Karen, Nico, Michael, and EJ's school tuition, too.
Thank you so much, dear. I appreciate it. We all do. But I just wish you'd come home to us soon.
Oh boy. Kailan Ka-ui? Oh. When are you coming home? EJ, the youngest, used to be the only person asking me that. How do you respond to a question you don't have a definite answer to? 5 years later, and I still can't give them a straight one. I smile though Mama can't see it. I fight to keep my lips from quivering, my voice from shaking. She's got enough on her plate as it is. No need to weigh her down with unnecessary concerns.
Promise me you'll be there to welcome me when I do, okay?
Of course. I'm sorry, Grace. I need to take this for a while.
There's a small commotion on the other end, the sound of gates opening, the voice of a child, EJ, talking excitedly about his day at school, the tapping of feet on the floorboards as he runs. It's been years since I went home, but I can still picture the whole scene in my mind. How tall is he now? Are the neighborhood kids bullying him now that I'm not around? Did Mama rearrange the furniture in the living room again? What are they having for dinner today? I miss them. I miss them
It's
so much.
okay, Ma. I need to go too. I've got work today. I'll call again soon, alright?
On a Saturday? Oh, never mind. Take care of yourself, dear. I love you.
I love you. Bye.
It ends with a soft click, leaving half-truths and empty promises hanging in the air. Oh, look at her picture. Isabella received an unexpected call from her family back in the Philippines. An emotional moment. Her mother informed her of her father's deteriorating condition despite treatments. Nonetheless, the young woman assured her and continued to work hard to be able to support all of them. Look at her family. This angry little kid here. Closing my eyes for a moment, I take a deep breath and shake away the thoughts beginning to swim inside my head. It's pointless to mull over these things right now.
Okay, Isabella. Time to get that mansion sold.
Unfortunately, before I can take a single step away from my phone, it rings again. No doubt Mama forgot to say something. No, this time it's Rose.
Mama? Did you forget anything?
Excuse you? I'm too young to be your mom. Are you still sleeping? Hold on, never mind that. Get yourself in the office. Hurry!
Office? What about the open house? Oh no. Is it Sir John? Did he hear about yesterday? Am I in trouble?
Is this like a weird translation thing? Because first Ma'am Hannah and Sir John? Like, is this her boss? Shouldn't it be Mr. something?
Oh god, oh god, oh god! I'm gonna get yelled at, aren't I? What do I do? I'll buy you an extra box of donuts if...
No, it's nothing like that. Will you calm down?
Hey, where's our underwear there?
Get yourself here, alright? I'll tell you everything then.
There's the telltale din of several feet shuffling against a wooden flooring and indistinct yelling in the background before Rose cuts the connection. That isn't in any way comforting, but it's enough reason for me to hesitantly discard my phone and finish my shower in record time. I make it to our office within 20 minutes of leaving my apartment, completely disheveled and out of breath. Feet, if I take into account my usual travel time. Routine clamor, common to Briar Realty Corporation's Luxmore office, greets me as soon as my foot crosses the threshold. Papers rustling, telephones ringing at sporadic intervals, agents talking at varying volumes, staff moving about, and...
Where the hell is C? Where are my employees?
C?
What the actual fuck, guys? Of all the times to disappear without notice!
My boss's words turn muffled as someone else closes the door to his office, likely the work of our HR manager. Throughout the past weeks, he's been in a bad mood over a few employees who have failed to report to work. I hear they're still trying to get a hold of them, but to no avail. The result is half their workload having been shifted to all available staff, so as not to lose clients. Not that I mind the extra work. If anything, it means I'll have more to send my family back home. Although the rumors of a branch closure circulating because of this is indeed a bit worrisome. My bag barely touches the top of my table when Rose pulls me aside.
Here, I need you to help me with these papers. If you could also get these signed and photocopied before lunch today, that would be great.
One after another, she thrusts a bunch of paperwork in my hands without explanation. A page flutters away from the top of the pile, and I lean out to pick it up, my eyes scanning the top of the page as I straighten. A purchase and sale agreement. Or simply gestures her thumb in the direction of our visitor's lounge when I tilt my head in question. Is it the Wrights? They are seated on the sofa and looking completely out of place in the humbly decorated room as the same couple from the day before. The Wrights. Something bubbles up in my throat. Their presence in the office can only mean one thing.
They're buying it? We got a deal?
She swats by my hands, hugging her sleeve, although her eyes are alight with something akin to joy. She wants the sale to happen as much as I do, and now that it's here, the deal needs to be closed yet, documents need to be signed still, but the elation is there, along with a foreboding feeling I can't quite pinpoint.
I had to do a little damage control, but they're already interested in acquiring the property, even before they attended the open house. I mean, isn't it obvious? They already hired an interior designer. I've never seen a buyer as aggressive as Madam Wright. She didn't even try to negotiate a lower rate.
One at a time, Rose. I can't process everything you're saying at once. What do you mean?
They're paying 15% higher than the listing price. As long as we get the paperwork done as soon as possible. I think if we allow it, they'll be paying up front, too.
Even with that urban legend?
Rose nods.
Oh. I was so sure we lost the sale after yesterday.
I don't know why you think that. Hannah was pretty clear she wanted this
Don't
house.
look so surprised. We still have to conduct some last few checks before we completely hand it over to them.
Please. I'll happily do the paperwork duty, Rose. I'll even go to the land registry myself and make sure the property changes hands with every single legal blessing.
Don't they have better things to spend money on? I'd haggle it down to the lowest possible price if I were in their place, especially with the stories attached to it. Not that my opinion matters one bit here. We're just their agents who are going to receive the hefty commission after all, nothing more. Rose gives me a pat on the shoulder, signaling that she's heading back to them and an unspoken instruction for me to follow after I'm done. It doesn't take me long to finish what work she left me. In fact, having our boss sign the agreements is the easiest, since it has put him in a better mood to the entire office's relief. Ma'am Hannah calls me over the moment she notices my presence at the lounge door. She welcomes me with a bright smile, her movements more open than one would typically expect from a passing client to have.
Oh, Isabel! How are you feeling? You looked awfully dreadful yesterday.
Isabella.
Isabella, I'm fine now, ma'am. I appreciate your concern.
I really don't understand why they can't get my name right. It's a fairly common name. It shouldn't be too hard to remember. Regardless, I hand them their copy of the agreement.
Wonderful. Your team works unbelievably fast.
Ma'am Hannah skims through each of them with a scrutinizing eye, checking every page for any inconsistencies and errors. Despite the unassuming impression she gives off, she appears fully aware of what to look for in the process contracts like these undergoes. It is surprising, to be quite honest. I haven't pegged her for someone who is well versed in these things, yet here she is. She shows some of it to her husband, and he responds with the same passive interest as if he's more than happy to leave everything to her. I can't tell if it is purely because he believes she's capable enough, doesn't care about what they are buying, or simply finds paperwork tedious. Apparently satisfied with what she's seen, Ma'am Hannah claps her hands together before extending it to us for a shake. Rose and I release the breath we've been holding, both of us more than happy to return the gesture.
That settles it then?
Are you really sure about this property, ma'am?
Shut up, Isabella.
We could easily find you a bigger one among our current listings. Something with a modern touch?
Something not haunted, perhaps? Rose shoots me a warning glance that clearly says, don't make a scene, we're almost there.
Of course, why wouldn't I be? The house is absolutely perfect, isn't it, darling?
A helipad would still be a nice addition.
Yes, well, we'll get there eventually, love. As I was saying, if your partner had the documents yesterday, we would have bought it right there immediately. Shame she didn't have it.
Well, there's still a few necessary documents we need you to sign after, but we'll let you know once we have those finalized. We'll be handling the process for the rest, so don't worry about it, ma'am.
Within a week, I hope. We still have a housewarming party to plan after all. You know how much thought should be put into those things.
There are servants for that, darling.
Love, wouldn't it be better if we handled it ourselves? A personal touch of sorts.
Why are they bobbing?
It is our housewarming party and our new home.
No more than a week, ma'am. Barring unexpected delay, of course. You can leave it to us.
Excellent. Well then, I'll leave you two to it. It's been a pleasure doing business with you. Oh, and before we forget...
She discreetly folds something in both our hands and winks. My finger raised to her lips, demanding our
I
silence.
know both of you worked hard on getting us this beautiful mansion. Did I mention we reward our people generously?
But this is... Ma'am, I can't accept this.
Yes, you can. Shut up.
Don't you worry, darling. It's a small thing coming from us. Consider this your bonus for a job well done.
She smiles sweetly, like this is simply the most normal thing to do in the
Oh,
world.
before I forget, my lovely interior designer would appreciate it if you hand her a copy of the floor plan as soon as possible. She's dying to work on the house. You can do that, yes? Here's her contact.
Certainly, ma'am. We'll have it processed as soon as possible.
I knew I could count on you, lovelies. I hope to see you two soon so we can get this closed.
Just like that, transaction over and done with. My mind's still reeling even after they've left. Other agents would have killed to collect clients like them. Part of me feels lucky about that fact. No lengthy negotiations, no sudden change of minds, just talk, signatures, a few handshakes here and there, and we're done. The other part? A second ago, we sold a haunted property to 2 innocent clients. Sure, the commission's big. Big enough to continue funding Papa's treatment and hospitalization, big enough to pay for all 4 of my younger siblings' schooling. Heck, it'll keep me away from instant noodle diet for months. I don't have to go back to the mansion as well once the deal's been closed, much to my sanity's relief. But knowing that something's in there, and we gave it to the good couple despite that? Oh, Isabella, the things you do to sell a house and get money. Papa won't be happy with that. At least I have good news to tell the next time I call home. The little lie I told Mama this morning isn't a lie anymore.
Well, there... something. So how does it feel?
How does what feel?
Your first big multi-million-pound sales, silly. I know you've been with us for years, but this has got to be memorable for you.
Memorable is an understatement, Rose.
Come on, show some enthusiasm. They gave us a bonus, too. Aside from the commission and the other bonus boss promised. What are you gonna do with it?
I don't know. Send it home, probably?
All of it?
Not everything, of course. Most of it. I'll leave some for my living expenses.
Listen here, Isabella. I'll teach you something I should have told you before we ended your training.
She slings an arm over my shoulders and leans it close to my ears, as though she's about to share a big secret.
It's okay to celebrate from time to time.
I don't get it.
It's simple. Go out, do something for yourself. Throw a party and treat your friends to free food.
She's not wrong.
Didn't you say the last one's some sort of tradition back at home for you? Hello, this is practically a done deal.
Isn't throwing a party a bit excessive?
Your call. I won't say no to an invitation, by the way, in case you really are planning to throw one. A few drinks would be nice too, thank you very much.
Look, Rose, you're not on the relationship list.
I don't think my apartment's big enough for that.
I wonder if Rose is gonna be killed.
You could always move? Bloody hell, you're working in real estate.
I think I'll pass. That's too much of an unnecessary expense for me. But I did promise Becca free lunch in case the sale goes well.
You go do that. Hold on a sec.
Have the ghost gotten to them already? She quickly removes herself for me to answer the phone on her desk. Her tone shifts from playful to professional in the span of a few
Today?
seconds.
Not a problem, ma'am. I could bring you a copy of the contract if...
Must be another client. Nothing surprising there. She's one of BRC's top agents no matter how modest she appears. A saleswoman through and through. I, on the other hand, have very little knack for it. Of course, I learned eventually. I had to. But someone else, without a doubt, could do a better job. Once, though, in a drunken stupor, Rose told me a story of what could have been. Years ago, wide-eyed, young, and brimming with yet-to-be-fulfilled dreams and ambitions, she was a term or two away from a nursing degree. Out of courtesy, I never pressed on the matter further, but perhaps it's where the sense of fondness started. A small connection due to one similar experience in our respective lives, of goals we both let pass us by because of the circumstances we're in.
I'd be happy to discuss this over tea, ma'am. All right, I'll be there. Thank you.
New client?
Reassigned. Have you heard from Mark at all?
Not since the first visit to the mansion. Why? No news from the HR yet?
None at all. Boss thinks he ran away.
He's dead.
I doubt it, though. He's too much of a wimp for that. There must be another reason. Who knows?
Or he was cursed.
Anyway, I've got to meet this one. I'll see you later.
She throws a whip over her shoulder. She rushes out of the office. The lunchtime bell sounds shortly after, followed by the chatter of fellow agents also heading out for a much-needed break. Ordinarily, there's no need for me to go out, but oversleeping didn't allow me the luxury of packing my own lunch today. One considers taking an instant noodle cup from my pantry packing your lunch. Time to make good on the promise I made to Becca, I suppose. Maybe invite Zach and Ash, too? In the end, only Becca and Zach could come. Ash, on the other hand, couldn't be reached. All of my calls went straight to his voicemail. He's at it again, right here today, gone the next day. Oh well, his loss. We've agreed to meet at a nearby cafe, the same one I frequent with Becca because it's cheap and they give away free bread during closing time. Quaint, a little old-fashioned, though looks a wee bit out of place amidst the city's tall buildings, but we love it all the same. Look at these desserts. Much like its facade, the interior carries an antiquated charm to it. Vintage art pieces and a row of shelves boasting an extensive collection of books cover the walls. It would have been nice to hang out here for hours on end, but even on a weekend this place is still packed with people. Thankfully, Becca and Zach have already found seats and are engaged in some casual chatter when I arrive. It's strange seeing the two of them without Ash accompanying the other. They've never been particularly close. Sure, they talk when they meet, laugh at the same things when there's something funny, but there's distance, the kind born purely out of differing interests. That or Zach's simply afraid of Becca. It's not impossible, and I won't blame him if he is. He might be the tallest in our group, but everyone knows that it means nothing against Becca's temper. Even I'm a little scared of her.
Zach! Becca!
Well, you seem to be in a better mood today. What happened? I know that smile, Belle. Come on, still.
Don't rush me. Let's order food first, okay?
A waitress comes by to take our order. On a normal day, me and Becca will order a hearty serving of their special vegetarian stovies. Zach takes anything with a good helping of meat, sausages, or potatoes in it. But today's a good day, great even. It's not wrong to indulge a little, right?
Today's special. For the three of us.
Even the person jotting down our order looks surprised at today's meal choice. She writes it nevertheless and leaves without a comment. Becca furrows her eyebrows, her mouth halfway open, ready to let loose what's likely a string of reprimands.
Don't worry. It's my treat.
The glare she sends my way reminds me of the one I received from Mama when I punched a kid bullying my younger brother 18 years ago. Naturally, I never did it again after she made me apologize the next day. But Becca's far from being my mom. 18 years ago, maybe we are 26. A small sheepish grin is enough to turn that frown into a defeated sigh. Food arrives in the middle of a funny story from Zach, putting the rest of the conversation on hold as we each served our order. It isn't anything fancy. Pan-roasted sea bass with citrus-dressed asparagus and a portion of mashed potatoes on the side. Or at least what's the daily specials board says. This is a tiny meal. How much does this cost? I never did pay anything to it whenever I came here. Since they price whatever's written way above what I'm willing to spend on food on a single day. Just whatever's written way above. Alright, whatever. That's worded weird.
Oh, good. I'm so hungry, I think I'm dying.
You're always hungry.
Hey! Not all the time.
Let me guess. You skipped breakfast again.
Not on purpose. I may have overslept by a few seconds today.
Right then. Stop stalling, Isabella. What's this about?
Let us say, Rebecca. She wouldn't be inviting us out if it wasn't worth hearing out.
Well, We're waiting.
I'm treating you guys to a once-in-a-century thing.
An expectant grin breaks out on my face.
I'm sorry, say that again.
And this is important because...
Beck only raises an eyebrow at me while Zach appears like he didn't get the punchline to another lame joke Ash made and is desperately searching for someone to explain it. Oh, bummer. Maybe I should rephrase it. My instant noodle days are over, or Ash is not here, so we should celebrate. Well, they like Ash, so... Look, I don't want to die, and I feel like Rebecca will kill me if I insult Ash, and I'm not mean, so...
Okay, let me do that again.
Shit. Okay, they're both happy. Good.
Guess what, guys? I'm paying! I sold the house!
As the news sinks in, their expression goes from sheer bewilderment to utter surprise. That's more like
You
it.
heard me right, ladies and gentlemen. As of today, I, Maria Isabella Grace Cruz Santos, am free from my instant noodle binge.
Seriously?
Hold it, Belle. You sold the house?
Yep.
Which house is this? In Aslam Village? The one with the open house yesterday?
The one and only. Come on, Becca. I know you've got a better memory than that.
Oh, wow. That's...
She lets out a hum. Although she's honest, she gives the impression of someone who has heard something unbelievable and is still forcing her brain to absorb it. Did she think we wouldn't be able to sell it? Have some faith in me, Becca. Am I not your best friend or what?
You don't believe me?
The words tumble out of my mouth before I could stop them. I've been trying to avoid bringing up yesterday's little spat, and judging from the looks on their faces, it seems they are too. Me and my stupid mouth.
I'm sure it ain't the way you're thinking, Bella.
No, I do believe you. But don't you think the sale happened a bit too fast? The open house only started yesterday, and now you already have a buyer?
It happens from time to time.
Yeah, but look, I'm happy for you. Just yesterday, you've been really worried where to get money for your dad's new treatment. And now, all of a sudden, you have something. What if the sale doesn't push through, or I don't know, they're a fraud, or they suddenly back out?
Raining on my parade.
Isn't it a little too early to celebrate?
Rebecca does have a point, Bella. If you haven't closed the deal yet, there's still a chance they'll go back on it.
I mean, I'm a pessimist too, but...
They don't seem like it to me. The lady appeared to really want it, and she approached me without even finishing the tour.
Wait till she finds out it's haunted. Pressured me into it, more like. But I'm not going to tell Becca about that. Knowing her, she'll only
And she
worry.
already hired someone to handle the house's interior design.
You're joking. Who would do that?
The Wrights, apparently. It's actually pretty funny. She's a bit too excited to get the property, she forgot to buy it. At any rate, they've already signed the agreement today, so it's just a matter of time. And don't tell anyone about this, but Ma'am Hannah also gave us something extra.
Something as in...
As in, it's why I can treat you two to a free meal.
I'm more surprised you accepted it.
She didn't really give us a choice in the matter. So don't lose sleep over this, okay? The couple really want the house. If Rose didn't stop them, they'd likely have paid up front for it yesterday. That's despite the legends, too. I even tried to show them the letter. But nope. I want this house, darling. Go take all our money.
I did not actually try to show them the letter.
You don't really think they believe that, do you? I'm pretty sure for them, those are just rumors as well. No one is that superstitious in this day and age, Belle.
We are.
Well, there's you.
Right. You know what? I'll just eat all of these by myself.
I begin to gather their plates to my side, the food in each still untouched. A laugh almost escapes my mouth with the way Zach's expression quickly changes to disappointment. Becca's hand interrupts me just as I'm about to pull her plate closer.
I'm kidding. Don't go all pouty on me again. I'm just concerned you'll get hurt if this doesn't happen. I know how badly you want to close this deal for your papa.
I'm sure he's gonna be fine now, though, with the money. They don't know yet. I think I'll call them tomorrow. Let them know things will be easier.
Sounds really ominous.
Mama said this morning he's showing progress with the new treatment, too. It's just a matter of time.
I allow myself to smile, genuine and uninhibited. It's strange talking about this with other people, even those who have known you long enough. But today, things simply feel a whole lot lighter with them here. Lunch passes in an enjoyable fashion. A laugh here, a playful jab there, but most of it spent on catching up and telling stories about whatever's keeping us busy these days. Something we couldn't afford to do the day before, taking into account what happened. Even Becca's surprisingly chatty. Is there something in the sea bass we ate? Zach, though, appears less energetic. While he's far from being the life of the party, he's definitely left to keep quiet in a conversation with his friends. Apart from a few inputs, he's been silent the entire time. If Becca
Are
notices...
you sure you're not feeling under the weather, Zachary?
There she goes.
Huh? No, I'm okay. No worries, Rebecca.
Doesn't sound okay to me.
It's okay. I might be feeling a little bummed out today, but I'm sure this will pass.
Bad reviews for your film?
Is it about the reviews this morning?
A pained expression crosses Zach's face, and almost immediately Becca retreats in her inquiry as though the man's look is enough of an answer for her. I look between the two of them. Did I miss something? What happened this morning? Did I stumble on a big secret? This is why I don't like waking up late.
You heard about those, huh?
Sorry, I just happened to check on some sites this morning.
No, it's a very sensitive topic in the first place. I should have expected it.
What reviews?
Becca glances at Zach, her emotions unsure, eyes asking for his consent on the matter. Although there's a small desire to keep asking on my part, I don't dare voice it out. Zach, it has always been better to wait and let him speak on his own. Becca too, to some extent, although with her, explosions of temper are more common. In the end, he simply answers with a shift of his shoulders, gesturing for her to go on with a tilt of his head.
It's his movie.
That doesn't explain anything. Stop dangling the information, Becca!
Zachary, I'm not the one supposed to be telling her about this. It's still your documentary.
Gonna make him say that himself.
Is it something bad?
Not bad per se. You guys don't need to dwell on it much.
Bad? Listen here. I wouldn't trivialize what those bowheads wrote if I were you. They're ruining other people's jobs.
Becca's a bawhide. From her tone rises in anger. It seems like she's the one slighted and not Zach. A snicker escapes me, which I promptly stomp down on as soon as she sends me a hard.
This isn't a laughing matter, Isabella. Some bowbag just insulted him.
Calm down, Rebecca. Those are just reviews, and it happens a lot.
I didn't ken about you two, but calling the entire film an out-and-out drivel, you're better off watching an educational kids' TV show, and worst 1.5 hour of my life, among other things, isn't, if you could call that a critique. Did we even watch the same film?
Half an hour of my life. Isn't exactly a critique. Like, geez, Becca. I've actually heard of the Adina Ken from Ace Attorney and from Black Mirror. The game Black Mirror, the reboot.
Well, maybe I ain't cut out for it. Better stick with my photography or something.
Well, don't let bad reviews get you down.
If nothing else, this helped me open my eyes to what I can and can't do.
You're giving up.
It wasn't a question.
It was just something experimental I did on my free time anyway. It's no big deal.
But you worked on it for months.
Doesn't look like it matters for those people.
Don't say that!
My palm strikes the table, sending the table we were on top clinking against each other. I didn't even notice when I rose from my seat. But here I am, chest heaving, looking down at him at the same manner a teacher would any unreleased student. Becca's probably proud. I didn't mean to yell, but there are some things people like Zach aren't supposed to say. How exasperating. He, of all people, should know.
It's just a review.
Except they're pretty well-known critics.
Why does that matter? They aren't the ones calling the shots on this. Isn't that why they have a committee? Right, Becca?
An amused gleam is in her eyes when I turn to her. What does she find so entertaining here? Help me here. Your friend's about to quit his passion for a petty reason. I haven't read what those people wrote about his work, but a few scathing words shouldn't be enough to discourage someone. I should know, after all.
Failing means you're playing, Zach. Not that I'm saying it's bad. I've seen it from start to finish, and I know for myself what you created isn't something people should scoff at. I don't know anything about filming or photography. Hell, I don't have an inkling of artistry in me except for those doodles I make for class, but I know what I watched. Look at Isabella. It's not every day you see her all riled up like this.
Whatever I must say gets lost in my tongue as a flush of embarrassment blooms across my face.
It was a heat of the moment thing. And anyway, I'll be very angry with you if you quit.
I think Rebecca's voice is a little loud.
What about the exhibit?
What exhibit?
Classified information.
Even if I bring you your favorite tonight?
Nope, not a chance.
Oh, come on! I thought we aren't supposed to have secrets.
A burst of laughter comes from Zach.
Thanks, you two. I might need some time alone to myself for a while. Just to think about things, how I'll go from here, that sort of stuff. Hey, I'm not quitting, Bella. Don't give me that face.
There's no face at all, only a poor imitation of a puppy dog eyes, if you could call this one.
Promise?
I'll be damned if I break any promise I make to you guys. Besides, you're right. It's too early to say anything right now.
What's night ain't for another week?
And that's all the answer I need from him. As sentimental as it sounds, there's familiar to knowing another person you know won't take the same path you've walked. It's not like it's over for me, though. I still have time. I could still come back. Do my own thing, do what I really want to do. Surely, once Papa recovers, once I'm done with everything. Inside my bag, my phone buzzes unexpectedly, breaking the pleasant afternoon lull. The screen shows Rose. Well, I'm gonna cut this part here because I think I've been recording for over an hour. Like, I really want to know what this call's about, but we have got to stop this part. So thank you all so much for watching. Please leave a comment, and I'll see you all next time. Bye!